Hi, everybody. It is Saturday, March 12th. For those whose clocks change, remember we changed them tonight. You jump ahead, so you're going to lose an hour's sleep, but you're going to get more daylight later into the days now, which works great for me because I love doing yard work in the evening. I'm happy to be out in my yard till 8 or 9 o'clock at night working. So that'll be kind of great, except for mosquitoes. But they don't seem to like me very much. I can pretty much get through mosquito season without getting attacked very much by it. A couple of things today. Today is James Taylor's birthday, so sending out birthday wishes to JT. And then on sad notes, Bobby Nelson passed away. She's Willie Nelson's sister. And she played keyboards with him forever. I've met her a few times, just an absolutely delightful, delightful woman. And I'm so sad to hear of her passing. I think she was 91, so a good run, but it's never enough when it's a good person. Let's see what else here. Getting ready, as soon as we finish, I'm off to the post office. I just finished a cameo video for a music school and sent that off. And I can never get enough of doing the music that we did with James Taylor. It's always a joy just to revisit all the albums that we did and the incredible songs, because James is by far one of the greatest songwriters of the generation. And I know I would sit there in the studio and he'd like whip out a song and we'd all just kind of look at each other and go, how does he do it? Where does this come from? I mean, it was like a deep reservoir of something going on in his head. You know, you kind of go, I'd love to be just to be a little kind of fly on the wall inside his head, looking at that synaptic, load that's going on in there to come up with this stuff. A remarkable, remarkable cat. But I'm going to go back and visit a couple of songs that we did on his album In the Pocket. I've played, I think, a couple of other songs or one other song from that. But I love these songs, and they really show a breadth of what James was really all about to me. And it's the In the Pocket album from 1976. It was produced by Lenny Waronker and Russ Titleman. It was engineered and mixed by the great Lee Hirschberg. And the strings were arranged and conducted by Nick DeCaro, and the assistant engineer on the album was Lloyd Cliff. I'm just going to start with a song that's really just one of these great mood songs that he would come up with, called Nothing Like 100 Miles. And it's a beautiful, beautiful band on this. It's myself, Russ Kunkel on drums, David Lindley on dobro, Herb Peterson on banjo, James on vocals and acoustic guitar with Waddy Wachtel on electric, and then the background vocalists on this are James and David Crosby and Graham Nash. And that was the beautiful thing about that period. Like, we'd be in the studio, and like Dave and Graham would like just come by and hang out, and then we'd finish up a track, and we'd say, "You want to sing background on this? Let's jump out there. Let's go." It was this community that happened that was just remarkable. At any given time, somebody, could come by and just, you kind of blow your mind. They would come up with an idea or something that was unexpected and not planned for, and boom, there it is. And all of a sudden, the whole dynamic of things can change. So this is the moodier of the couple of tunes I'm going to play. So this is Nothing Like 100 Miles from In the Pocket, James Taylor, 1976. Here we go. Russ's brushes.
I have tried to forget about you and all the plans that we had planned. Yes, and I'm bound to leave this town. I don't care where I may land. Baby, I'm moving through. There's nothing like 100 miles between me and trouble in my mind. There's nothing like 100 miles. Show me the yellow line. There's nothing like 100 miles when I'm only passing through. There's nothing like 100 miles. Make me forget about you. Forget about you, baby. Don't be like our fond farewell. Don't we like to keep our goodbyes nice and clean? You may wish I'd go to hell. Why you tell me what a pleasure it's been so long? Baby, I'm moving on. There's nothing like 100 miles between me and trouble in mind. There's nothing like 100 miles. Somebody show me the yellow line. There's nothing like 100 miles when I'm only passing through. There's nothing like 100 miles. Make me forget about you. Forget about you. I have tried to forget about you. Baby, I have failed. And just as long as I stay in Houston, I will.
I'll tell you, Russell is just the master of brushwork. He's so orchestral in his approach to drumming and brushes. I mean, it was so evident in so many things that James did and Jackson Browne did and everybody, as he just listens to that song and just goes, "Oh no, this would just be it," and he just dances with it. I still feel so fortunate that it's going on, like, I think 52 years that Russ and I have been a partnership and playing together. And I just I can't emphasize enough what a gift he's been to my life throughout this entire run. I mean, everybody on here is like just really remarkable musicians, the best that this town had to offer and has to offer, because so many are still at it. So many are gone now. I mean, I was sitting here looking at a number of these, and I'm suddenly seeing the names of Michael Brecker and Steve Medeo and Valerie Carter and Victor Feldman, and it goes on, and so many of them are no longer with us. Their brilliance and their contribution to music is here forever, but they're gone, and it's really sad. You know, I mean, this really is sad, and it's hard to come to grips with it sometimes, because there's nothing you would like better than to walk into the studio and see those smiling faces. Not the song, their faces. But here's another one. This is a whole other vibe on the same album of James, and it's a song called Money Machine. And it's myself, Russ Kunkel on drums, Danny Korchmar on guitar, Clarence McDonald on keyboards, Victor Feldman on percussion. The voice and horn organ were Nick DeCaro. Michael Brecker and Steve Medeo are the horn section on the sax and trumpet, and the backgrounds on this are James and Valerie Carter. So here we go. This is a whole other thing. This is what I love about this stuff. It wasn't one trick pony. This stuff really just visited a whole lot of stuff, but it all felt it had a continuum through it, because of the fact that when we were doing albums then, it was one band, a production team, and it had this thing as compared to bringing in, 5 producers and having 12 different musicians playing on all different things. There was a thing about this that just I love so much. So here we go. Here's Money Machine.
I was just a child. My life was oh so simple, and the ways of the great world seemed strange and funny. Then when I was a young man, I learned of that machine. Turns out all those bales of precious money.
Shaft.
Money, 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 money. From that money machine, now you can measure your manhood by it. You can get your children to try it. You can bring your enemies to their knees, with the impossible exception of the don't forget the beast. You take a strong hit from the money machine, that money machine. On top of the world, strong hit from the money machine, that money machine. Still on top of the world. Oh, General Motors, and IBM, AFL, CIO, and all the kings of Dan. When I began the game, see me singing about the fire and rain. Let me just say it again, I've seen 5s and I've seen 10s. It was a strong hit from the money machine, sell up top, on top of the world. Strong hit, baby, from that money machine, sell up top, on top of the world. Money, 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 money. Ha 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 ha. Money, 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 money.
Yeah, Valerie.
Been living in the lap of luxury too long. Please, Mr. DJ, won't you play my song? Baby, my baby, listen on the radio. Come back home to me, help me spend my dough. I need a strong hit, give me that dough. From the money machine, please, sit it on top of the goddamn world. I need a strong hit, baby, from that money machine. You sit it on top of the world. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 from that money machine.
So great kind of Shaft vibe on it. I just love it, man. That feel is so good. It was one of those songs that didn't get. We did it, I think, a number of times live, but yeah, I don't think it's part of his repertoire anymore. It would be fun if it was, because it's just such a great energy to it. The last one I'm going to play is still one of the songs that goes over so big. For him now, but whenever we played this in concert, this was like a showstopper kind of moment. And we went through different incarnations with this, and that's Shower the People with Love. The thing that was great was at one point, James was doing this with a Revox tape recorder that had all the background vocals on it. And it got so crazy, because with the Revox, people always wondered how the hell all this worked. The Revox had a little, like a light in it, that as the tape, because this was a tape machine, as the tape passed over this light, what we did was you edited in a little piece of clear tape into the tape. And as soon as that clear tape would get hit by that light, the tape machine would stop. And then James could start it again with a foot pedal. So it got to the point where he had long conversations with the machine. They'd roll it out on stage, so there was no bullshit. People were, it wasn't like this fake stuff. It was featured, so it would get rolled out on stage, spotlight would hit it, and it would become part of another member of the band. And it was so funny, because he would come out and kind of go, hi folks and all this, and then the machine would start and go, hey James, how you doing, man? And it would stop, and he'd go, I'm doing good, how about yourself? And he'd hit his little button and go, I'm doing really good too. Hey folks, doesn't he look amazing tonight? And it would stop, and he would go, and he'd go, oh, you're looking good too. And it had this whole conversation that went on. It got longer and longer. But when we would do Shower the People, it would roll up it would start right where the first chorus would come in, and he would hit the button, and he had it down where he just knew the timing on it. He would hit it, and it would start the background vocals, and then when they stopped, the machine would stop, and then when it came around again, he would just hit the button, and it would go again. And it was really a great shtick, but it was also just worked so beautifully well. On the album, it's James on acoustic and vocals, and myself on bass, Russ Kunkel on drums, Clarence McDonald on Rhodes, on this Victor Feldman on orchestral bells and vibes. The horn organ is Nick DeCaro and Clarence McDonald, and the background vocals on this are James and Carly Simon. But when we would do this live, and it still happened. We were doing this on the Troubadour reunion tour, and it would get to the point where Arnold McCuller would take over and have this big feature spot where he would take off. Man, the crowd would go completely crazy, because Arnold's such a gifted singer. And it was really always one of the high points of the set. But it's just a beautiful track. So I'm going to go ahead and play Shower the People here. And then
You can play the game and you can act out the part, though you know it wasn't written for you. But tell me, how can you stand there with your broken heart, ashamed of playing the fool? But one thing can lead to another. It doesn't take any sacrifice. Oh, father and mother, sister and brother, if it feels nice, don't
he would hit the button here.
Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. Do as I say. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. You can run, but you cannot hide. This is why you know their feet. You can feel it beginning to ease. I think it's true what they say about this squeaky wheel. Always get in the grease. Better to shower the people you love with love. Yes, and show them the way that you feel. I know things are gonna be just fine if you only will. What I'd like to do to you, shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will.
Hit the button.
Shower the people you love with love. Yeah, show them the way that you feel. Oh, yeah. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Shower the people you love with love. Don't take much to sell your pride. Shower the people you love with love. I say, show them the way that you feel. They say you never shower the people you love with love. They say the rain must fall. Just like pouring rain.
Live, this is Arnold's part.
Make it rain. Show them the way that you feel. Make it rain. Shower the people you love with love. Sunshine, oh, that you feel. Oh, yes, make it rain. Shower the people you love with love. Sunshine, the way that you feel. Right here. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Shower the
It's so good. It's just so good. Yeah, I gotta just loved it. I mean, the crowds would come together. It was a real kumbaya moment. People holding hands together and just loving that. So that's that. That's in the pocket. That's probably the last visit I might do for that. Maybe next time I'll grab a couple of things on there and play along with them. But working here at home. I just did another track for Ian Pace from Deep Purple last night and sent that off. So I'm waiting to hear about the two songs and that I've done for him this week to see how those worked out. And I'm just going to go take care of some other stuff now. So I'm going to wish everybody a wonderful weekend. A reminder that next Wednesday, the 16th, is our next Clubhouse meeting. So put that on your calendar. Be there or be square. You know, for the Peanut Gallery here. Again, you know, the elephant in the room is the horrors being inflicted on the Ukrainian people that are just beyond comprehension. And now there's worry that Russia may start using chemical warfare on this because they're accusing America and the Ukraine of developing weapons. So they may do a preemptive strike, which is just, everything they're doing cuts against international laws about warfare, which is hard to even imagine. It's almost like an oxymoron. But the amount of people that are suffering and dying is just so beyond comprehension to think that a couple of weeks ago people had a normal life, you know, having coffee in the cafe, running, you know, doing their businesses, going to Pilates, doing all this, and all of a sudden the cities are all being completely blown off the face of the earth. I mean, I don't know what's going to be there for anybody, even if they can come back. It's just a horrible situation. So my heart's with them. And I'm hoping something internal will happen in the Kremlin, and this can end. You know, just be gone, be done. I'm also blocked from Facebook still. So I haven't been able to do my birthday wishes. I did a few yesterday because I knew the people's emails, but I think I'm back on tomorrow again. Everybody comes on and they talk about how horrible Facebook is, and on levels, I absolutely agree. Facebook is such a double-edged sword because there are things about it that really are hideous as far as I'm concerned. But there are other things that really have allowed connections to happen back in my life with people that there was no other way I would have ever found them, and things that helped put together even doing this network. So I have such mixed feelings about it. I wish it was a company that really had more soul in it. I think when it gets to the corporate side of this, it is pretty soulless. And the things that they choose to call their community standards at times can be absolutely horrifying and shocking to me. It's not a community I really want to be a part of. So I'm dealing with that, and then still dealing with COVID. I'm carrying my mask everywhere, even though they've dropped the mask mandate here. It's optional in LA now. But I'm not going into any places that are crowded without one. And I think it's the right thing to do still at this point, because there's still a lot of people dying and a lot of people getting sick, and there's another new variant that's come along that they're not sure about yet. So I think we still have to err on the side of caution. So, and if you haven't had your vaccinations, it's your call. It's your call. But all I know is the people that I know who have died from this, and there's quite a few now that I've known who have died from this, were all the unvaccinated. I do not know anybody who's been terribly sick who had it, that they were vaccinated and had not gotten really bad. They felt like they had the flu, but then they were back to normal and everything was fine. So think about it. It's your call, but try to be smart. I'll be back tomorrow. I've got some other stuff to look up and present. But for right now, just have a great weekend, and my thoughts are with you, and I will see you later. Okay, bye-bye.